Good afternoon and welcome to week 2 of PO101, American National Government. I want to go over today with you just the course objectives for this week's activities. You're basically going to be examining the contents of Articles 1 and 2 from the United States Constitution. And I'm going to read off the course objectives for you in just a second, but I wanted to throw something out to you that I'm sure you'll hear mentioned in your lectures, and I always said it to my students. If you look at the length of Article 1 and the length of Article 2 and just the very minute detail involved, you can see clearly that the Founding Fathers were very concerned about limiting the powers of both of these branches of government. When you read Article 3, by contrast, it's like, here's the judicial branch. They're not going to cause anybody any trouble. And there's a great quote that we'll talk about down the road where it said they were called the least dangerous branch. But we're going to look at that quote a little more in depth in one of our discussions together. A couple of things let me go over this list with you so that we're all on the same page. And I'm sure that most of you have moved on to this before. So let me just go over this week 2A, the first part of your learning objectives for this material. Upon successful completion of this lesson, you'll be able to identify the houses of Congress, who they are, and who they are meant to represent. Certainly the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate had very different roles, although they have a common purpose of making sure that the government ran efficiently. They have very different roles and different personalities, and I believe that they retain even today. Examine the duties of Congress, describe how a bill becomes a law, explain the impeachment process. Many people are confused about this. The impeachment process is actually simply a charging of a high-ranking government official of misconduct or crimes, misdemeanors, things like that. The Constitution gives it sort of a blanket description. Impeachment is simply the charging, and then that is the duty of the House of Representatives, and then the Senate itself will conduct the trial. Seems to be more frequent in today's political environment, those threats of impeachment, actual impeachment being done. I've seen 2 presidents in my lifetime impeached. I've seen another earlier president threatened with impeachment and forced his resignation. So, these are very important issues to understand. And then lastly, for 2A, demonstrate what Congress can and cannot do. Our founding fathers were very much afraid of legislative body becoming as powerful and potentially bullying as Parliament had been. So they were very concerned about limiting those powers, balancing those powers with the powers of the other branches, and then hopefully the will of the people. Then we'll go on to 2B. Feel very prepared today, having printed these out. Identify the qualifications for president. Analyze the purpose and process of the Electoral College. And if you get that, I'm very proud of you. I still struggle with the Electoral College. It is confounding. I love to talk about it because I think it had a purpose. I'm going to deviate a little bit here from what I should be doing and just tell you that I think that our founding fathers were distrustful of a strong national government, even though they understood that one had to exist for the country to go forward. But I want to tell you, I think that they were also a bit afraid of the people having too much of a voice. And afraid of pure democracy. That's when we have a representative form of government, a republic. You had those like Jefferson who gave a lot of lip service to democracy, but the very presence of the Electoral College and its continuation shows you that there was some fear of the people having unchecked authority in decision making. So, we could talk about that all day. That's a great topic. And then lastly, you distinguish the various duties of the president. I think you will enjoy that. There's a lot of interesting discussion material there. So you've got an exciting week coming up in this material. And a couple of other things if you don't mind sitting here and just listening to this, I wanted to go over a couple of other things with you, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. As of recording this, I still have a few more discussion questions from week 1 to grade. I try to do some of these pretty much out of the gate very quickly for you so you would be encouraged and so that you would have some feedback. And I'm pleased, very pleased with your work. And I want to say keep it up. What I will probably do on going forward, and if you have problems with this, let me know, but I think this is the best way to go. I'm not going to grade them until after they've closed, to give everybody a chance to respond. I'm still having some problems with you all feeling a little, I think, uncomfortable responding to someone else's, commenting on someone else's discussion. Don't worry about that. Just keep it positive. You don't have to agree with them. Just, just get it out there. And so make sure you're doing that as we go forward through the rest of the semester. I want you to earn the highest possible points. You're going to have to comment on someone else's as well as complete yours. So if you have any trouble, I don't know what to say, Miss Justice. I'm afraid I'll sound stupid. Send me. I might have to be careful how I say this, or I'll be grading 100 million. But send me your thoughts, and I'll say, hey, this looks great. Why don't we add a little more? I'll try to help you in any way I can, because again, that's what I'm paid to do here. But trust your instincts. Listen to the lectures. She's got a lot of good things to say, and she has some very knowledgeable co-lecturers that are in the videos with her. So you will, and you are listening to people who love this nation and who don't enjoy seeing the difficulties that we have. I think you will enjoy listening to them, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. You will enjoy them. And the other thing is, I want to give you some advice that I have shared with my students over the years. When you are writing any kind of written assignment, I think this goes for almost any class. If you are writing a discussion answer, if you're writing a major research paper, you're writing even an English paper, if you will write as if you are teaching through the written word, that's going to guide you in what needs to be said. If you're the teacher, you come at it writing, well, Ms. Justice knows this, or Professor Taylor knows this, or so-and-so, they all know this, Dr. So-and-so knows this, your answer is going to be incomplete. Write as if you are the teacher. It will guide you. I think it will limit you because you won't feel like you have to say everything, but it will make you sort of pointed toward the idea of what's really important here. And in these discussion questions, if you write like that, and 150 word minimum is really not a whole lot. I've had some of you who've written quite a bit more, and they've asked me about that. Write to your heart's content. It's in this kind of venue, that is just fine. You don't have to tell everything that's ever been known to man. But if you will come in with this attitude like, I'm writing as if I've got a little lecture that I'm going to present to a group of students, or I'm writing when my opinion is going to teach this little group of students something, what would you want to say? I think that'll guide you tremendously, and I think that is useful advice for almost any class that you're taking. It'll make you much more thorough. I think it'll make you more adept at excising the extraneous material, stuff that really doesn't need to be there, and it's a good approach. Well, I guess that is enough today. If you need any more guidance, or if there are any of these videos can help you in any other way, let me know, and I'll be glad to sit down and do this. I'll come in here in the inner sanctum of my office. Actually, this is the outer sanctum. My office this really used to be a closet, and we've cleaned them out, and they've become a little sort of a 2-room area where I have my books and can do things like this. So anytime I can pop in here, if you need any help with the material, let me know, and I'll be glad to do that. I can explain anything or talk you through any of the assignments. And if you have any trouble, remember, go to help desk. If you have any trouble with the actual mechanics of the classroom, I can't really help you there other than to send you that email. So I'm very proud of your work so far. Well done, and keep it up. And again, stay on top of it. Go step by step. Try not to skip anything. As I tell my students and my children, the tortoise always wins the race. And I'll say that, I've said it to you before, I'll say it again. Just slow but sure, and you'll get it done, and you'll get it done in fine stead. So you all take care and try to stay cool. I think we're having a heat wave as I record this. Give me a holler if you need anything, and I'll look forward to being in touch with you soon. You all take care. Bye-bye.